Yeah, we've got Frank. KG9M is going to be leading the meeting tonight with all the different representatives from the part of the meetings that will make this happen. If you've never been to a swap meet, it is a hoot. It's just a whole lot of fun. It'll be the 28th. We'll work together. It takes 60 to 70 of us to pull that off at the Loomis train station. So I'll turn it over to Frank. He's going to introduce the crew that's going to head this up. And then we're going to be looking for help a little bit, but we are well centered so far on this event. And this is probably the biggest thing the club does each year.
Nice. Thank you very much. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Frank and Kilo Golf 9 Mike. I am the Hamfest chair for 2026. And we are 14 days away and a wake-up call, as we used to say, 14 days and a wake-up from the event. March 28th is the big day. Lots of folks have been busy planning and preparing for the event. And so tonight what we'll do is we'll go over what some of that planning has been, talk a little bit about the raffle prizes, talk a little bit about what the volunteers need to bring with them to the event. And we're going to do all this in about 30 minutes, but we do have a little bit of time. So we'll have plenty of time at the end for any questions that you may have as well. So without any further ado, we'll dive in. This is the list of team leads, and right off the bat, I want to express my sincere appreciation and gratitude for the team leads, all the names that you see on this list, for stepping up to lead their sections, and I just ask for a round of applause for all of them. They really do have the toughest job because they are helping to identify volunteers. They are coming up with the plan. They are showing up early. They're communicating, and then and making this event really a special event. So I really do appreciate it. This guy here, back on the other slide, Chat GPT created him for me. He won't be there on the 28th, so don't look for him. All right, let's see here. So go to the next slide, please. All right, the location, it is at the Loomis train depot. The street address is up there. It's very easy to get to off of I-80. You just get off on Horseshoe Bar Road exit, go north, and basically if you keep going, you're going to run into the station. We'll talk about parking areas here in a moment, but excuse me, but it's very convenient, very easy to get to. We will, okay, so keen observers will note that there's a trivia question at the bottom of the slide. And I think the question is harder than you may first suspect, but we'll give an answer here in a little bit. Next slide, the event times. If you notice, there are asterisks next to the first two items, and that's because some of the volunteers are having a staggered arrival. So the team lead will ultimately communicate to you when you need to arrive if you're volunteering for the event. If you don't hear anything by 5 o'clock is the time everyone should show up. But in some cases, folks are arriving a little bit earlier at 4:30 to do some initial setup. So it'll be no later than 5, but you may have an early arrival. And again, your team lead will mention that to you. The event sorry, same slide. The sellers will show up at 6 o'clock. They're actually show up a little earlier than that. But 6 o'clock is the official time that they will be allowed in to start working on their paperwork. Hamfest buyers are going to show up at 7. Again, free admission, free parking. They will also queue probably a little bit earlier because by now everyone knows the best deals and the best selection is available right at the start time. So come early. The last prize drawing will happen at about 11 o'clock, and after that is finished, we turn into teardown, and that's typically done by about noon. So it's really just the first part of the day. If you're volunteering or attending the event, you'll have half the day to do whatever it is you want to do. Enjoy some of your new equipment, work off the donuts that you ate, and we'll talk about donuts here in a little bit. And then we're all done. We'll take a group picture for the folks that have volunteered, and then we'll be on our way. Next slide. All right, so you're a volunteer and you wonder, well, what do I need to bring? I'm going to save you the time for having to watch ND3N's video on how to be a volunteer and just tell you what you need to bring. High visibility safety vest, and I do believe we might have a few extras of those somewhere. So if you don't have one, it's best to bring one, best to have one, because we have these events all the time. But if you absolutely need one, send me an email. I'm on QRZ, good on QRZ, and we'll identify what that quantity is and see if we can support. Your SFARC name tag, water to drink, ideally water. Water keeps you hydrated. Flashlight headlamp, red light is best for your eye protection or preserving your night vision and the night vision of others. Hat, sunglasses, sunblock, as you see there. An HT radio programmed with the comm plan frequencies. We're going to talk about the comm plan on another slide, but have that pre-programmed into your radio so you know which channels to turn to and which frequencies to be on. It is the standard SFARC comm plan, so if you had your radio set up for previous events, it's going to be the same exact thing. The Hamfest reference card is new for this year. And if you've ever done any planning with FEMA or Cal OES or any of the operational elements, county operational elements, they use what's called an incident action plan. And we are fortunate this year, where'd Scott go? There he is. Scott, KM6 RFB, created an incident action plan for us this year. We will add that to the planning documents and operate off of that going forward. Structured plan, structured template that is really comprehensive. And we're going to pull one of the pages out of that. That's the ICS 205 form. That's going to be the comm plan. So you'll have a copy of that. And Scott's going to talk about it. It's going to be super convenient. You can even have a QR code, plus we'll email it out. So everyone should know the key frequencies and key telephone numbers to the team leads. That's one of the reasons why I didn't display it on here tonight, is because there's phone numbers. Now this is getting recorded. We don't need to have that listed. All right, and next is what? No, not next slide. Next item is going to be your foul weather gear. We'll just call it that. But I know Scott's going to give us a weather report. Last time I checked, weather's going to be great. Parking, the parking area that is recommended for volunteers is the Loomis Grammar School, which is across the street pretty much from the Blue Goose. It's typically open. It's convenient, just a little bit of a walk. Again, you're going to have donuts, so you can work those off. All right, and then at the very bottom there, it says stick around for a group photo. I know some people take off a little bit early and they miss out on the group photo. And some of these group photos are a lot of fun to go to the website and check out. And you want your presence to be memorialized. So stick around for the group photo. Next slide. Okay, this is the comms plan, ICS, that's Incident Command System, Form 205. The copy that we will give to everyone will have not only these frequencies, again, standard comm plan, but also we'll have telephone numbers for the team leads. Yes, there's a question.
Just a note for everybody in the room and everybody on Zoom, the comm plan is also published on our website. So if you miss it here on the slide or you can't find it, it's always available at w6ek.org. Thank you.
All right, and I don't know if that conveyed over to Zoom, but okay, very good.
Frank, one change. TAP 4 is safety and medical frequency. It's not up there, but it's on the comm plan.
Okay, so
It's up there. TAP 4. It's not listed under ham assignments.
yeah, so pay attention to the comm plan, the ICS 205. That is really going to be the latest and greatest information for this event, and then we will, operate off of that going forward. Don't need to write it down. Again, you're going to get a copy of it. Next slide. All right, so you don't have to listen to me talk for the whole night. We're going to have some of the team leads come up and give a quick comment about their section, any volunteers that they may still need. And by the way, their sign-up sheet on the back table there for the volunteer areas that we're still short. So you can head back that way. Mark is holding it up right there. Basic information, and it even has all the check boxes for the areas that we need folks. So please feel free on your way out, conveniently located, to sign up, and we will contact you and get you lined up with a team lead. To kick us off on the team lead briefs is going to be Chip, KM6 MDF, who is going to be in charge of setup and teardown.
Good evening, everyone. All right, so setup and teardown. You have 4:30, right around there. We need about 6 to 8 more people, and that will help lighten the load. And it's pretty quick, and then you're around and you can be ready to shop. Do we know how many pop-ups we have so far, or should we just maybe if you have a pop-up, throw it in, bring it? Maybe that's probably the best thing. He could-
Say is that we do have one more planning meeting next week, and it is important for the team leads. I don't want to take too much time tonight from the flow, but for the team leads to really consider the equipment that they're going to need, especially the ones that need tables or pop-ups. And if you have a gap, to identify that, and please come to the planning meeting next Thursday at 6:00 on Zoom, and we will hash all of that out.
Thank you, Frank. Yeah, so and you don't really need to bring anything other than that. So just show up on time and set stuff up. Probably a bunch of pop-ups and some traffic things, and that's about it, really. Maybe some tables, nothing heavy or hard to do. So if you want, sign up. If you forget, contact me. I got a piece of paper and pencil. You can put your information down if you catch me in the parking lot and forgot. So that's it for setup. Thank you, Fred.
Thank you very much. Now, I volunteered for that section. Chip is great to work with, gets things done, get you on your way. So please consider volunteering for that. That's the early crew as well. So if you do need to take off, you can come in early and you can punch out. But we will need folks to help tear down as well. All right, next is vendor relations. Dennis, W6X.
Yep, good evening, folks. Hear me okay? All right. So this is the 10th year. I think we should know how to do it by now. I'll be getting vendors in through the gate. They'll be paying me as they come in. What I need is some volunteers to help get people directed as they come down into that cul-de-sac that really aren't selling, to get them to go left and turn around and go out the back. Otherwise, it starts to stack up there. So, if you're through helping Chip set up, come by, and I just need, like 3 people for an hour each, maybe 3 people for an hour each. And it goes real fast. And all you'll do is just sit there out in the street, ask if they're a vendor or looking for parking, and then you'll also hand them a registration form if they're a seller's form. That's it, nothing to it. Any questions? So come by. Usually people come by and want to volunteer to help out, and then I'll just rotate them through about an hour each. Okay.
So it is $10 a stall for the vendors. That's for the seller. If you're a club member, $5 for the stall. And what's really important also, and I'm sorry I didn't have this up for you to start, but all the sellers by California's requirement is you have to complete the CDTFA, and I forget what that stands for, California Department of Tax Franchise. Yes, got to complete the CDTFA-410-D. I know that we'll have some on site the morning of, but could they complete it mostly and come with a copy of that form? Okay.
Then Gary's team can go around and pick them up later.
Okay.
They're pre-filled out except for signing it and putting that in.
So we will have copies on site to go ahead and fill out. And thanks for doing that, expedite that. But that's one of the most important things that we have to collect for the sellers. All right, let's go back to parking. Russ did mention that he wasn't going to be here tonight, so I'll cover his section. Again, there's an asterisk around the showtime. I'm going to let Russ communicate with his members just to let them know if they're staggered arrival or if they all need to be arriving. But again, if you don't hear anything, no later than 5 a.m. The main parking areas that we have for the buyers and the volunteers, because the volunteers park where the buyers are, is the Blue Goose West. Actually, you can go to the next page. Next slide. I have this listed here. There are 4 areas. The first one is Blue Goose West across from Hamfest. So I don't have a pointer, but the Blue Goose is the large, if you look at the very top of the building, or at the very top of the chart in that kind of turquoise area, that's the Blue Goose. There are 2 parking lots on either side, the west and the east. Those are allowed for buyers and volunteers. You also have the Loomis Grammar School, which is that crescent-shaped parking area to the south of Taylor Road. And you also have the city lot, which is Walnut Street behind the post office. And that is highlighted on the map as well. It's in the lower left-hand corner. So those are the areas where we are allowed to park. There is accessible parking, ADA parking, which is located behind Taylor's. You will see it. It's the kind of the dark blue area on the map. That is, again, going to be for Americans with Disability Act handicapping. Two important notes: no parking at Taylor's, the Taylor's restaurant, and no parking along the railroad right-of-way. That's super important. We want to make sure that we don't get towed or cited or cause a horrific train accident. So please be sure to avoid those areas. Please be respectful and kind to the local businesses. I actually have to visit them and get their sign off to allow us to have these events. So we need their sign off each year. And then, please, as you're loading and unloading items, if we're impeding the roads and traffic, just try to minimize that as much as possible. I will meet up with the businesses again afterwards, and hopefully, they have good things to say. All right. We will have general Q&A at the end of the presentation, but are there any questions specific to parking?
Where's the train station on this map?
The train station is, if you, again, I don't have the pointer, but the train station is, do you see Horseshoe Bar Road here? You follow that up, train station's right there. Yep. So literally, if you take Horseshoe Bar Road in, you're going to dead end right into the train station. Okay. Next slide, please. And that is Gary with security.
It's a pretty easy job. Primarily, I need 3 people there right at 6 o'clock. If we don't have them, then we'll use what we have. But Dennis takes the money and hands them off to me. I talk to them, welcome them, stuff like that, and ask them how many spaces they have, which I already know. And then I hand them off to one of 2 people, one that's straight down or one that makes a turn, and they're keeping me informed how many spaces are left. So that's probably about one of the most important things we do, is trying to keep it moving, and that works out pretty well when there's 3 of us there. The other thing we do is we do the counting of the people that are actually attending. Orion, do you have the clickers?
Probably not. I gave all that stuff to Aaron.
Okay, what we do is we put 3 people at 3 different locations, and we count the people that come in. I will count the vendors coming in, and once every hour I will call and get a count from you and get an idea, what we have, and it's just a continuous call. The most important thing is that, we're all there to have fun. So we'll be relieving you. We don't want you to be there more than a half hour at a time or whatever, because you want to enjoy the Hamfest too. And I think the big bonus working security this year, it's going to be 2 free donuts and a cup of coffee. Okay. So, nobody else has said that. Well, hey, I will guarantee you will have 2 free donuts. Okay. And then 10% off of anything you buy. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Gary. I do appreciate that. I think there's an asterisk by that donut comment. All right. Speaking of donuts, we have Ramon is here tonight, and he's going to talk to us about donuts. He might have some interesting information about the source of those donuts. I'll let him break the news. But donuts obviously are hugely important. He not only is it donuts, we say donuts, but it's concessions. It's also the water. It's also the coffee. It is all the things that we need to fuel ourselves early in the morning to wake up and to have a great event. So without any further ado, I will turn it over to the concessions Jefe Ramon.
Thank you, Frank. Good evening, everyone. Buenas tardes. I don't speak Spanish, by the way. Anyways, the status of the concession group right now, we lost a few volunteers that cannot attend. We were short-staffed, but the show must go on, right? So, Brian, Jerry, make sure Tata and Lynn shows up on time at dark 30, okay? Other than that, we're taking as many volunteers, even for 1 hour, to relieve. There's only 4 right now that sign up, and the critical time is between 0600 to 0900. Pacific time, by the way. So, okay, so let's make it sure. As far as the setup, the configuration, and everything, I'm not gonna change anything that's worked last year and the last few years. If it's not broken, I'm not gonna fix it. But I will try to improve some of the shortfalls, specifically the circuit breaker. We will try not to trip the circuit breaker this time. And if we do trip the circuit breaker, Frank will bring his generator. I will bring my portable power supply, so at least we have one coffee pot running during that event, if it happens. Another thing that we're going to be having is, or changing at this point, is I am in negotiation with a local donut shop. They're rated 4.8 stars by Google. They're rated number one, not only in the state, but in the US by Yelp. We're going to try to get or acquire our donuts from Donut and Cinnamon up in Rockland, right? That's in the works. It's yeah, you guys should try it. You know, there's always a long line every morning in that shop. Local mom and pop shop, very nice people, and they make the best donuts. Other than that, is there any questions?
How many donuts do people get working for you?
The budget that was given was one donut.
Just a bucket out of
very generous.
1 year we had half donuts.
Oh, as far as the coffee pot, we have two confirmed, but we have a third one on procurement. So we're trying to have all those three running. They're about 350 pot coffee urns, and my estimate they can brew about 50 cups to 60 cups an hour. So hopefully we don't run out of coffee this year.
All right, a big hand for Ramon. He stepped up to that role. He's worked in the section before, but he took it over this year, and really have to say thanks for doing that. I know he's got an outstanding team of folks that have helped out in this area before. They know how to make coffee, and it's good. So, and then the addition of the Donuts and Cinnamon thing. That's if you haven't been to Donuts and Cinnamon, you should go there because they have outstanding donuts. And I'm glad that we're pursuing that. All right. So next is Jim with the club table.
I think most of you know what the club table is about. This year is our 10th anniversary, and this is the largest selection of equipment we have ever had. Normally, if you've been to one of our events, we have like 2 tables across the front, one down each side, and we got a lot of activity. We are a central hub of what's going on. We now have at least 3 tables across, one each back and one in the back. So we are talking 3 pop-ups and a total of 8 tables of gear that we have to offer for those of you that would like to purchase some really well taken care of amateur radio equipment. Now, if you want to bring your own items and have us on consignment, more or less, take them, you're limited to 2 to possibly 3 items. You have to have them tagged with your contact information, the price you're asking for. And if someone comes up and says, I love that K3, what do you want for it? We're going to give them your phone number. They call you, you negotiate the price, and that's how it happens. The kicker to all this is that at the end of the event, as you can see on the slide, if it doesn't sell, you have to take it home. And the dumpsters that are around the corner from the train station, they get real upset if they're filled with amateur radio equipment left over from our swap meet. Again, we have a great amount of equipment. The free stuff that was on the table back there was just a little bit of an inkling of what we have. We have test gear, amateur radio gear, we have antennas, we have linears, we have keys, we have a lot of equipment. So come on down, bring your cash. That way you get to exchange what you're selling for the stuff that we have at our table.
Thank you, Jim. Can you go back one slide, please? And if you notice at the very end, there's a comment that says members get to pick select unsold items at 11 a.m. Is that still correct? All right. So if you stick around to help clean up, you might be able to walk away with some pretty cool gear.
You put on there, you need assistance on Friday evening?
Yes, that is correct.
I didn't hear you mention it.
Did you want to mention it?
I didn't mention it, but everybody, excuse me. Yeah, we set up inside the train station Friday at around 5 o'clock or slightly before if we can get in there. We set the tables up in that big room. We put all the equipment out. We make sure we've got tentative pricing on it. And then when we come in at 04 o'clock, 04:30 on Saturday, we move all of that out underneath our pop-ups. So we are not trying to set all that up outside Saturday morning. It'll never happen with this much equipment. It's just way too much stuff. So we will preset it Friday, get it out there. And those of you that have been there, you understand what happens. The sellers that are there come to our tables first, and they jump all over our tables buying things. So we have to be prepared for that.
That answer the question. All right, outstanding. So next is the Elmer Tours and Social Tent. Graydon is out, so I'll cover that section briefly. Again, he has a schedule set up for when he wants the Elmers to be available. But it's my understanding that Elmers will be they'll have a schedule that they'll be walking around and doing Elmering things. Other than that, they will be available for other things. And one of the things that's kind of cool and new this year is the social tent. That's kind of the name that we're using it. It's going to be a pop-up or two with tables. I'm sorry, not tables, chairs. Chairs. So it's going to be a gathering space where people can come in and rest their heels after walking around and looking at all the stalls and rest, but also learn about things or share their own information, learn more about people in the club. It's going to be a place to kind of gather. We haven't really had that. We've had some park benches, around area. We didn't have kind of a focused area that could foster communications and social activities and those sorts of things. So the social tent will be somewhere right there by the Elmer Tours, which will also be by the test table, which is coming up next here in a minute. And what do the Elmers do? Most people here know what an Elmer is, but they convey information about the hobby. They explain what equipment is that people may see out on the stalls. They explain kind of what the use cases are, and they answer general questions about the hobby and the club. So there's some of our more experienced members who can share that kind of information and just foster more awareness and interest in the hobby. All right, next slide. Any questions on the Elmer Tours or the social tent? No? Okay. Next slide. And speaking of the test bench, we have Ryan W6H. Give me a round of applause.
Just in time. What I really want to say is this guy, the biggest event of the year. So thank you, Frank, for putting this on. It's really stressful. So thank you very much. We're going to have a great time at the test bench. We've got all the gear. We've got all the test stuff and the dummy loads and the power supplies and the cables and the adapters. That's all great. But the fun part about the test bench is the camaraderie you get at the test bench. The people that hang out at the test bench. WQ, and I are going to hang out at the test bench, but it could be 3 or 4 or 7 or 10 people. And we're going to have a good time. Is that me? Oh, yeah, there it is. We had a good time doing test bench. We found that just about everything worked. And that's a plus. That's a +1, right? But we'll be there all day. I'll be there extra early. And we're going to have a good time. So appreciate you, Frank, for everything you do, and I'm just here to serve you.
Thank you. Answer, Ryan. The joke is that you don't want to buy a boat anchor, right? Unless you're Greg. Greg may need a boat anchor. but but everyone else doesn't need a boat anchor. So Ryan and his team will have the gear to make sure that that's not the case, assuming that the seller is okay with you, checking out the equipment. All right, thank you, Ryan. Do appreciate that. All right, next is safety and medical. So I will turn it over to Scott, KM6RFB, to talk about medical, and then we'll go to Bob after that.
Great. Good evening, everybody. So been working with Frank. So this year we're putting together an IAP. All the general staff, and then all the team leads will get a hard copy of this. There's a QR code on here. You scan it with your phone, it takes you right to the Dropbox. You can then on your phone read your own copy of the IAP. This will go live once I get the final information from Frank. And then it will be published out there. And then so everybody will have this. This information will contain the phone numbers, the comm plan. And like I said, there'll be one change to the comm plan. TAC 4 will be medical and safety. So we're going to be monitoring TAC 4. We're not going to be listening to the other channels. So make sure your radios are programmed with TAC 4. TAC 5 will be a reserve channel. In case we lose one of the other frequencies for whatever reason, we've got a reserve one set to go into the wind. So make sure your radio is programmed correctly with all the correct TAC channels, so you can communicate. Again, we won't hear you on safety and medical unless you're on TAC 4. That's just to keep everything nice and clean out there, and that is illustrated in the comm plan. What I also want to talk about is the safety plan, and Bob is going to talk about the medical. But first and foremost, we're there to have fun. We're there to enjoy. We're there for the public. So we're in the public eye. We want to make sure we're presenting a good view for the public and maintain safety at all time for us and them as well. Watch your step, stay away, stay clear of RF sources, and report safety issues on the safety net. It's one way we're going to hear about it. Things we want to think about. We're working on uneven terrain. Be mindful of curbs and cables. Ensure radios are properly programmed to the IAP. Maintain situational awareness at all times. Look up, look around, look around. Stay hydrated. If you have time to think, you have time to drink. Remain mindful of what's going on around you. Be cautious of pedestrians, equipment, carts when driving near the site. Operate demo radios at low power and on authorized frequencies. And when I say that, you're buying radios from whoever and whenever. You don't know what frequency is programmed into that radio. It may be on a public safety frequency. Make sure that your frequency that you're testing the radio on is on an authorized frequency, and we are not interfering with public safety communications out there. That is a real threat. Also, demonstration radios, please ensure RF output is connected to a dummy load or an approved antenna system. In case of a medical fire, event staff will notify 911. Frank will be the incident commander for the event. We will send somebody to meet the 911 provider, and that will grab them in. We don't need everybody gaggling around. It's already going to be a stressful circumstance. We don't want to pollute the environment with a bunch of people trying to figure out what's going on. If you feel unwell, visit the first aid area immediately. In other words, not feeling well, feeling dizzy, but I'm going to give that all over to Bob. So that's my safety message. The whole safety message and the safety analysis is going to be in the IAP. Weather for that day. I contacted the National Weather Service to kind of give me a forecast for that weekend. They are predicting 63 degrees as temperature is a high. They give a probability of precipitation of about 25%. So cloud cover about 52%. They're expecting the winds north by northeast by 2 miles an hour and wind gusts up to 4 miles an hour. This will also be in the IAP as well for you to review. Again, as soon as Frank gives me the final information, this IAP will go live for anybody to download with the QR code. So what will happen is your team lead will have a hard copy. You can then walk up to your team lead, scan it on your phone. It will immediately take you to the IAP site. So I'm not printing off a bunch of trees. So this is just to make it real simple for everybody. And this is going to be a living document moving forward for us. So it keeps track of everybody, their phone numbers, the comm plan, everything. So it just makes the plan a lot smoother. At this time, I'm going to hand it over to Bob, N6 EMS, who will be our medical lead for the event.
Evening, everybody. Bob 2 and 6 EMS, and both Scott and I will be at the Aries table. It will also serve as the first aid station. If you have a minor first aid event, track me down, come up, we'll get you taken care of there. But to tag on to what Scott said, if you're not feeling well, give us a chance to get you feeling better. So come see us early. Don't wait for you to drop down and investigate the pavement very closely. So I'd rather intervene. And on that note, probably on these type events, the biggest medical problem that people run into is dehydration. So you lose a lot of fluid walking around out in the sunshine and stuff like that. And if you're a volunteer and you're working, you can double that. So remember, hydrate. Call us on TAC 4 if you're out and about and you see someone that needs something. We do have some response bags, and we will go out to the scene, evaluate the person, and get them the assistance that they need. Any questions on medical?
Yes, sir. Are we giving away free water this year at the, are we giving away water over the work?
If you pass out, I will give you a bottle of water.
I am sure talking with concessions, if we have to, if somebody needs a bottle of water, I'm sure we can go to concessions and get a bottle of water to get them hydrated. I will have some liquid IV with me. I will have some Squincher with me. So if we have to, so if we do have to do a rehydration, we can add some stuff to some water to help people. So we will definitely have everything. Other than that, are there any questions for safety or about the IAP? If not, I will turn it back over to Frank here.
All right, so just a few more slides left, and then we'll open it up for questions. So next is information on the raffle prizes. I know Jerry is going to be working this. Jerry, I didn't coordinate this with you, but I pulled it from last year's slide, so please correct any of it when we're done here. Originally, Rob N6XYZ was the team lead for the prize drawings. He had to drop out, but we had a huge assist from Aaron, W1ATB. Thank you very much. Big round of applause. So like last year, $2 per raffle ticket, or if you buy, or 11 for $20, there's a little bit of a discount there. If you buy 10 or more tickets, we will print your labels. You've seen these tickets where you got to write your name and your phone number. This is going to save you a lot of time, but it'll be, if you buy 10 or more tickets, that'll be a huge time saver for you, and you won't get a cramp in your arm. You must be present to buy the tickets, but you don't need to be present to win. We're not selling them online or that sort of thing. You have to come to the event to buy the tickets. Grand prize drawing will be at 11, as I've mentioned before. Prizes must be claimed by April 13th. I'm not sure why that date was picked. That was just picked from last year. I didn't even check if it's a weekend, so maybe someone can let me know that later. Non-local winners pay for shipping, so it's local pickup, but if you need it to be shipped somewhere else, that will have to be arranged. As of today, the total value in prizes, you can see there, that may go up before the event. So the best thing to do is to look at hamfest.w6ek.org. Smitty's been doing a fantastic job updating the prizes as Aaron and others have been bringing them in, and we're going to talk about those prizes here in just a second. All right. And the day of the event, Brian is going to be the prize. I didn't have a proper title for him, so you call him the prize meister, prize coordinator. And so, did you want to talk about it, Brian? Okay, so I've got the list here, but I'm going to turn it over to Brian to talk about the prizes.
Thank you very much. Who goes to Hamfest to win a prize? If you don't raise your hand, you're lying to me right now. Boy, do we have some great prizes this year. Shark RF M1KE. How many people have heard of this? It is a connection back to our repeater and repeaters all around the world. I know quite a few. How many of you have a Shark RF? I know, yeah, quite a few people have them. So this is a great item to get you back into our repeater system and to repeater systems around the world using All-Star Echolink, many other types. We also have a 3D printer. How many of you have a 3D printer? Okay, put your hands down. How many want a 3D printer? That's what I should have asked. Yes, I'm one of those people. We're going to be giving away a Bamboo A1 Mini with 2 reels of PLA. So that's a good start, and it's one of the more popular ones on the market. So who wants a power supply made by Jackery? Pure sine inversion, 300 watts, good for a POTA event. Only a few people? Come on, I'm trying to get you to exercise here. All right. And have you guys seen those POV cages on radios, like on the 7300, the 9700, made by one of our club members, KK7AIR up in Georgetown? So great prize. It fits the 7300s, the 9700s. He has a couple more up his sleeve that he's going to be introducing soon as well.
Sorry to interrupt, Ryan. Hey, if we don't own a 7300 or like if we have an IC 705, can we swap that with him?
Yes, and to make a great gift for your mother as well.
Brian, could you repeat the question?
The question is, if you win this cage, but you don't have a 7300 or a 9700, can you change it for another one? And Scott is working on other designs, but it would make a great Christmas gift as well.
and I'm sure that Jim would sell you a 7300 at
Yeah, and we do have a 7300 if we don't have one to fit the new cage that we win.
Radio now included, but we can help you.
How many people have the or have seen portable operation with the JPC 12 antenna? It's the pound the stake in the ground, and a lot of people are using that for portable operations. Also, a Rush Mohab sling pack. Smitty, I think you had found that one. That is an awesome pack. Awesome pack. Also, PowerWorks Power Pole bag was donated. We have, let's see, signed books by Craig Buck, signed books, study guides, HRO, $100 gift certificates, and 2 $25 gift certificates. Thank you, HRO. RT Systems coming up to support us again this year with a donation of a free copy of their software. Alpha Antenna also stepped up with 5 $50 gift certificates. ARL gift certificate. And also, I believe we added another DX Engineering I saw as well. So big shout out to these corporations and individuals who are supporting us. And so, okay, who wants to win a prize at Hamfest? Oh, there's a couple people who are a little too shy and don't want to win. I'll take your gift. Anyway, we'll see you at Hamfest. Great prizes. And thank you, Aaron, for helping out this year. Thank you, Smitty. Thank you, everybody who came up with some great prizes. I think this is the biggest amount of prizes, dollar-wise, that we have ever raised. It gets better every year. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. I do appreciate that. And there was something I was going to say. Can you go back one slide, please? Oh, as Brian mentioned, a great support from the companies that we typically deal with. I just wanted to point them out. This is posted on our website as well. But also, I also wanted to mention that the club budgets a certain amount each year for prizes, and that's I guess it changes each year, but it's less than we really need to get these prizes. So I also wanted to highlight and give special thanks to those folks that donated specifically to the prize fund to get some of these prizes so that we can offer them at the Hamfest. So your name can appear there too. It's not too late if you want. All right. So, yeah, thank you. Next slide, please. This is the Hamfest is an ARL sanctioned event, and I believe Jay is new in his position. He will be there, and 6SAC, for those of you who know his call sign, there'll be an ARL booth. Obviously, there'll be information about Placer County Aries and then information about the club as well. So if you are done shopping for things and you want to learn more about those, organizations, to include ours, stop by the booth and have a chat. Next slide. Okay, let's see if I've skipped over anything here before we get to this. Volunteers. All right, so at the last count, we needed 16 volunteers. And again, there is the sign-up sheet in the back, and it has these areas: a setup, concession, parking, security, prize drawing, test bench, and then there's also a catch-all: put me wherever I can be used. Please go back to that sign-up sheet before you leave and consider volunteering. You can also click on that QR code. You can go to hamfest.w6ck.org directly, which is where that QR code takes you, or you can flag down me or one of the team leads that you've heard stand up here to talk tonight to volunteer for the section. It is a lot of fun. It is essential for the event to have club members participate. Again, you're in, you're out, and there's always good memories and award-winning donuts. Next slide. Okay, questions. We'll turn it over to questions here in just a second. That's the website that I just mentioned, hamfest.w6ck.org, the QR code. And this is one of the group photos, and hopefully we'll have another one. And I'd love to see each and every one of your faces there at the event and smiling like these folks are after another successful Hamfest. Okay, so there was a trivia question at the very beginning, and then I'm done. The trivia question was, when was Northern California's first Hamfest? Any guesses with the years? Northern California, the first Northern California Hamfest. This article here talks about it, and this is if you can read it. It says some 100 members of the Amateur Radio Network's Region 3, comprising 30 Northern California counties, will gather at Recreation Park in Auburn Sunday for their first annual Hamfest. The group works as Region 3 of the Civil Disaster Radio Network. So these are clues for some of you that have been around a while. Program will get underway at 9:30 a.m. and a full schedule of activities is set until 6 p.m. Theron Woods, some of you may have heard that name before, of Auburn will set up his amateur station on the grounds. MC will be Larry Bell of Quincy. Does anyone know those names? All right. Okay, so the question stands, when was Northern California's first Hamfest? Any ideas what year that might have been?
Yeah, right here. 1958.
So the guess was 1958.
Smitty, did you answer that or did ChatGPT answer that?
I wasn't around back then.
So that is correct. It is 1958.
Is it? I swear.
You get to be the MC at the Hamfest. All right, so the first Hamfest was Sunday, May 11th, 1958, 67 years ago, and that article was Placer Herald, dated 8 May 1958. So
By the way, where I came up with the number, Frank, is 1958 is when we established SFARC. So I just pulled it out of, I'm like, well, that's the year we started, so let's do it.
He does run the website, so he does that. So that is the end of the comments. Turn it over to you all if you have any questions or comments that any of you want to make regarding Hamfest.
How many more volunteers do you need?
16. The question was how many more volunteers we need. We need all, but we need at least 16.
Is there anybody here tonight that hasn't signed up yet that will sign up tonight? We have a sign-up sheet.
Anyone twist your arm, but we do need some additional help. So again, please consider volunteering on your way out. Sign up for something if you haven't already. We really appreciate it. With that, I'll turn it over to the question.
What kind of attendance numbers are you anticipating?
I believe 300 to 400, or is it 400 to 500?
500 to 600.
So I believe on the special event permit it was 300 to 400. Okay, I'll turn it over to Mark. Thank you.
Just stay for a second. I just want to ask a question. It may be premature to mention this, but I didn't notice it on the slides, and maybe Jim might speak to it. But we have a very special activity going on as well. And Jim, why don't you come on up?
That's correct.
We've added something special this year. At the club table, there'll be a separate small table with a mystery box on it. Fairly nice size. Not quite the Ark of the Covenant, but nice size box. We have filled it with goodies. We have filled it with quality amateur radio equipment donated from the States. This is the really good stuff. We're going to put a lock on it. It's going to be a silent auction. You get to come up. You can walk around the box. You can tap on the box. You can try to lift the box, but you can't open the box. And you can put your name down, and as that kind of event goes, you put a dollar amount that you're willing to pay for the privilege of opening that box and getting the contents. Right, we'll start at 10. What we've got going here is this is going to be some really nice stuff, and we've decided to make it pretty much amateur radio related or high quality test equipment. Now, the proceeds of this is going to the scholarship fund that we maintain here at W6EK, the SFARC. So when you bid for this, if you've been to an elementary school or middle school or a high school, you've gone through this process before. You know how it goes. You put down the amount, you walk away. 20 minutes later, you come back, you look at where did the dollar amount, did it change? Did it go up? Has to be dollars, and it has to increment in a positive direction. So that's how it has to go. Okay, at the time that we've appointed, you get the key to the lock. You get to open it. Everybody gets to see what you invested your funds in, and maybe snicker a little bit, laugh a little bit, or their jaws are going to just drop. So there you go. It's a very special thing that we're going to do this year.
Great idea.
All right, I think that's going to be a lot of fun, and so we're really looking forward to it. Again, one more big round of applause to the folks and volunteers. It is the volunteers that make this so successful.